Okay, this is the Facilities and Transportation Committee meeting for the 4th. No, it's not. It's the 8th of August. Normally, Kevin Strobel would be running this meeting, but he is out of town today, so he asked me to step in. On this committee is Mr. Jerick, Ms. Thompson, Mr. Scott. Is that correct? We also have a couple other board members here. We have Dr. Cooper, Ms. Haynes, Ms. Owens, and Mr. Hurley. We have a long list of things to talk about, so let's start with water fountain installation.
Yeah, first, our director of facilities and contracting services had a family emergency and was unable to attend tonight. And I'll take it from here. Okay, first on the agenda, I'm going to give a synopsis of some of the things that have been happening this summer since this committee has not met since June in regards to the facilities. First, as you're aware, we received grants that allow us to install water fountains in different buildings, the ones that have the jugs next to it. We have 8 installed so far. It takes about 3 days of one person's work to get one installed because it doesn't match up perfect with our current plumbing. We have 8 installed, 3 at the high school, 2 at the AIC need to be replaced, and 3 at the middle school. So that's where we are with that. Made some pretty good progress with that. Second item, roof inspections. Jay has a background, pretty significant background in roofing. He went up, they inspected all the roofs. We're in pretty good shape, except for the rubber of the high school will most likely, one part of it will need to be replaced within the next 2 years. Stay tuned, the board should stay tuned for more information on that. The other roofs are okay and not in awful shape there. There was not hail damage. One of the reasons why we did the inspection was to look at that middle school roof for hail damage from a previous storm this spring. As most of you know from the various reports this summer, we just started our door project, which started on the 1st of the month. That will be completed by the 12th. Everything's right on time, in accordance with the schedule. So you can see that. You can see the ones that are on the gym already over there. So that's moving along very nicely. The retaining wall, they still have to caulk and set the coping and the railings on wall number 4. That will be done within the next 2 weeks, so that will be ready to go there. So that's moving along very nicely. The primary center security wall, that was completed 2 weeks ago. The reason why that was done was to create one entrance point and one exit point only in the main office for access control. The only other thing that still needs to be done, we're ordering like a DB logo to put on it just for aesthetic reasons, but that's not a big deal there. So that's in real good shape right there, so that is just about done. The board should be aware that we're having air conditioning issues at the River Rock building. The materials are going to arrive on 8/11. They are experiencing some delays. The repairs will be made immediately after that. Looks like 3 fans and 1 compressor need to be replaced. They did refill the 1 unit with refrigerant, and it's working right now, although it has a slow leak. Keep in mind that the landlording business continues to be a drain on our personnel, which takes time, and it also costs resources when we have buildings. So keep that in mind. We have another issue over there right now. High school auditorium, as you know, we had some work scheduled this summer. Everything was completed by the 29th. It was in regards to a safety inspection that we had done last spring. No further issues. Everything's working and is now safe. So that was done this summer. LED light installations. At the AIC, the Intermediate Center, and the middle school exterior lights are now all LED lights. The canopy lights at River Rock are also now all LED. So that should save us some money over time for us there. This one's a big one. The the high school heat pump installation, that part has been completed. The bigger issue we have is in regards to heating and air conditioning. The middle school cooling tower and heat exchanger we need to have that replaced. We looked at it, or we're in danger of losing some air conditioning and heating in that building. We're concerned, we had it inspected. It was not cleaned within the last 5 years. It certainly should have been. Jay priced out the cost to have it repaired versus the cost to replace it. It's about a $10,000 difference. His recommendation, given the condition and it wasn't maintained properly, is to replace that. Julie, that's the one that we want to bring forward because that we don't want to lose air conditioning and be in a situation like one of our neighboring schools.
Yeah, I know.
What was the cost on that?
It will be $28,320. And Berkshire and Pack.
And it would have been 18,000-ish to clean it?
Yeah,
to clean it and repair, okay.
One of the concerns, and this is certainly beyond my area of expertise, but one of the concerns that Jay relayed to me was when they start taking it apart, they may find more things because it hasn't been cleaned or maintained at the proper way. And so he thinks that given the condition of the current unit, this is our best option for the district financially.
All right, we got just, as far as updating on what's been done so far this year for facilities, we only have one more item. So can we circle back to that in a second? After you do the cleaning update, we'll circle back to that to vote on putting that forward.
No problem at all. All the fire protection inspections will be done very shortly by the end of the week, and so that's good, and we'll be up and ready to go there. And cleaning, we're happy to report, is all completed except for just some spot-up work, but all the buildings are done. SSC has done a pretty good job of doing that over the summer here, and we're pretty pleased with that, especially compared to some of the past years with other contractors previously, so they've done a good job for us overall. And I guess next, we have a couple trees we have to have removed. That's not of significance. They're hazardous. They're coming down, and that's more of a preventative thing for us. That's coming forward, and we're replacing 2 eyewash stations in one of our nursing rooms before the school year starts. They need to be replaced and functioning properly.
Are the trees, is that lanternfly related, or is it just their age and?
I believe it's lanternfly related.
Okay.
Ash borer.
Ash borer. Okay. Excellent. One of the other scourges of Berks County. Are we replacing? Or are we just getting rid of them? Where? Okay. Where are they? Or are they kind of scattered all over?
One's in Monocacy, and then one's at the high school at the bottom.
Oh, so we're not talking about like a copse of trees that are providing shade or anything. Okay. All right. So okay, and then so before we get to transportation, let's talk about the middle school cooling tower. Was that something that was on the radar just to be looked at before the end of this year? And then when we looked at it, we found that it was problematic.
Inspections as ensured to having things inspected, and that's when this was discovered.
Rob, do we know how we missed the cleaning, like the last 5 years?
That's a fair question, and I would look at, we had some turnover. We had 3 different facilities directors in the last 5 years, and I suspect we got missed in between there. The other piece is we changed we changed from our original work order system where you put periodic reviews in there, and I suspect that wasn't programmed into the new work order system. That's what, I'm not 100% sure, but if I were to speculate, that's what it would be.
So the new work order system will take care of that moving forward?
It's all in there. It's all being programmed in there, and it's being checked to make sure that Jay's doing a very good job of doing that with our work order system so far.
And the heat heat and AC systems at all the other buildings have been getting their periodic inspections. This is just the one that was missed.
Yes.
All right, so it's not my committee, but so the and we went through the proper bidding process to get the bid for.
Yeah, that's an emergency, that's an emergency.
Yeah,
repair.
yeah, okay. All right, so 28K, 28,320 to replace what we need to replace, as opposed to minus 10,000 if we were to repair it. I don't know. I think if getting a brand new system for $10,000 more sounds like a better option, but.
It's also my understanding that Burst Mechanical is co-stars, just so you know that.
Oh, that's right, they are. I'm looking at the three of you on this committee.
I would, as an ex-service manager, I don't have any problem with the 10K difference. I don't think it
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense
I agree.
to break down an old unit.
Yep.
To Rob's point, once you start taking it apart, if it hasn't been touched in 5 years, it could be
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And you're good with it? You good with it? Okay, so yeah, we can push that forward too. All right, transportation update. Who am I going to for that?
Wayne, come up to the podium, turn it over to you.
Good evening, everyone. So just to give you a brief update on where we stand, I can tell you at the last count, we have probably 85% of our buses for this contract already on site out in Punxsutawney. They're getting labeled with Daniel Boone School District, numbered, and inspected and prepared to ship over here. So that is, we got a handful of the vans that are very difficult to get a hold of, so we're still getting those in. But we're confident that we're still going to be good to go come day one of school. Just my introduction, Sue Llanos is here. She's our supervisor. It's going to be running the day-to-day. She has come on board since the last time the board met. We've also got a mechanic on board now and a dispatcher, so both of them we expect to start within the next week. For drivers, we are apparently experiencing quite a surge in the number of drivers that are applying now, so we're feeling more confident about day one of school. We've got, we had Sue, correct me, we had a training class last week, and another one again the week before, I'm sorry. So 2 weeks ago, another one this week.
They start tomorrow, 7:30.
Yep, so we've got those, and Jay's been gracious enough to allow us space here in the building to get that set up. As far as facilities go, so we are still looking at several opportunities, both inside and outside the school district, for where we're going to house. So the kind of the unique situation that we have is trying to figure out balancing the deadhead miles. Okay, so if we do have a piece that's outside of the school district and the majority of the buses are inside the school district, how does that deadhead mileage go? Because really what we're trying to do is normalize it as far as what the school is used to from the previous years compared to what we'd be going forward. So, but we're confident that we'll have a good solution for that fairly quickly, and we can get things up and running. I don't know if anyone has any questions.
The municipalities that you're looking at, if it happens to be that they need to be, the place where you house buses has to be outside the school district, are we looking at like the adjoining or adjoining plus one?
Very close.
Okay.
So
I'm not trying to, I'm not going to be looking at like what land's available to try to figure out where we're talking about after we're done talking. I just want
So one
to,
you could probably throw stones at
yeah,
from the school district.
Fair.
border, and the other one's probably within 2 miles.
okay.
It is
All right.
a short distance.
Okay. Oh, so we're not, I'm just, I want to be sure we're not talking about like Phoenixville, and yeah, fair.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely going to be adjoining, and you're talking 5-7 minutes, not 5-10 miles.
Okay. That was the only question I had. Anybody from
So
the
is the
committee?
maintenance all gonna be done there as well?
There's possibility of 2 sites, so obviously, we'd set up one for the bulk of the buses, another one like as a maintenance site, and maybe some of the other vehicles that would park there. But we do that split based on what makes us the most sense mileage-wise, to cut down on the deadhead miles, particularly in the afternoon. So we would only have one maintenance site, and more than likely have the fueling occurring on that same site.
And I don't think I'm saying anything surprising that, maintenance is not going to be occurring on Danny Boone sites, right? Like,
School district?
yeah,
No, we
right,
agree,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Anything else that anybody has any questions about where we are? I think I just heard that routing is happening for the
We are
year.
in pretty good shape, I think. Sue, everything,
Yeah, I've been working with Kim, and I believe as of early this afternoon, we had another training with TransFinder, and we've learned how to possibly condense some runs if we want to. There are, I believe, 40 students that haven't actually been assigned to a run yet.
Okay.
And then we're going to
So you have to
try
wait, yeah.
Yes, those 40, and knowing Kim, it'll be done by noontime tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
meeting with
I
her.
know, yeah.
I am meeting with her tomorrow morning.
Okay.
After I get the training classes started, then I'm going over to meet with her, because she's not as familiar with the roads, but I'm able to tell her, we can't access this house this direction, it has to come this.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Those types of things are the ones that haven't been assigned yet.
Okay. All right.
And unsafe stops?
Unsafe stops, yeah.
Unsafe stops.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we will have all those taken care of, but if not, my door's open always for that in my phone, because I had one over the summer, and I'm like, yeah, no, we can't do that. And they're like, oh, it took me forever to get that last year.
Yeah, so,
Automatically, it's a.
That's
yeah,
fair.
That's unsafe.
and I understand that that's when you're dealing with parents, coming to a consensus about what's unsafe. I know that can be, that can be difficult, yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right, anybody else have any questions about where we are? Nope, okay. Thank you, sir.
you're welcome.
I know your number.
You do.
Any, I did want to ask one quick follow-up question on the primary center security wall. That's like where the, and it,
That's the intermediate center.
well, I'm sorry?
Intermediate center.
Oh, at the intermediate center, I wrote it down wrong. So that's like where the office is?
Yeah, if you notice when you go in, past that vestibule area, that was open over there, that's where that is.
Oh, it's like when you first walk in, they let you in, they unlock the door for you, and then you're just in the office.
Yeah, the end result is.
Okay, I do remember that.
Is that a gate, right?
Yeah, okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions about any of the updates we got for anything for facilities or transportation? Any comments from the public? Okay. That calls it for the Facilities and Transportation Committee at 19 minutes exactly